Hello, hello. I am using StreamYard, which is a different platform for me. So I'm just, hello, hello.
Whoa.
I am using StreamYard. We want to turn that to mute. And I'm just going to also have my phone going at the same time so that if I have to mute anyone, that'll be easier for me to do. So if you're wanting to comment, I'm using the new StreamYard, and I think you have to give permission to StreamYard in order to comment. So normally what I would be doing on a Friday night is I would be on a little bit earlier, but because of daylight savings, I've swapped to the later time slot. So I'm actually going to be, during daylight savings, I'm going to be 7:30 Queensland time and 8:30 New South Wales time. The neighbourhood kids and everyone else is still out and about in those earlier times, so it's just working out easier for me. And any of my regulars, can you just give me some feedback as we're going through if this is a lot clearer for you? Not many breakups, my audio is good, all my visual and stuff. So this is the first time with StreamYard. So I'm just going to hopefully get some comments. I'm not getting any comments through, which I should be. Private chat, comments. You are live. That's very fantastic. View on Facebook. Can I go over there to do it? So I can see on my phone you're commenting, which is lovely, but it's not allowing me to see my comments. Ah, here we go. So hopefully that'll continue to come through. So normally I would do some archetypal teaching, but this week my teacher archetype is not in the mood. So I'm going to do a brief catch up. I'd like to hear how everyone's going. I've been really quite tired and flat, followed by, you know, really great pits of amazing energy, highly creative time, and then the next day I'm as flat as a pancake. So I'd love to see how everyone else has been feeling, and you know what's been going on with them. So just hopefully these comments will continue to come through. I'm just going to talk to you briefly about, I got my journal, which is being done by the lovely Spiritual Events Directory. The owner of that and Kathy have produced it, but 12 of the other hosts and people that are involved have actually created inside of it 12 different journals. And I was like, each month is focused on a different thing, and I was actually really pleased and surprised with how awesome it is, because I was just bought it because my intuition said, get it, it'll, you know, keep you focused. But each month it focused on different things. There's working with essential oils, the archangels, mediumship, tarot and the moon, manifestation, ancestral healing, numerology, automatic writing, intention and gratitude, life purpose, heart coherence, and health and fitness. And that's just me like giving a very quick little jot down of what each one is like. So I was really pleasantly surprised, because I'm an Aries and I can get easily bored. So this is, and it's not got dates on it, like it's not 2021. You literally can pick any month, whatever's appealing to you, and just work with it. So you can swap all through the book, or you can start from the start, but it'll help keep you focused, and it'll help keep me focused, because I really enjoy journaling of a morning, and it'll just really help keep me focused. So congratulations to all the people that have been involved with that, because it looks spectacular. So just a question, please. Is it just my internet that the sound is very out of sync? I don't know, Sandra. If anybody else let me know and see. Diana, I was thinking of purchasing a journal and I've completely forgot about it. It looks and sounds amazing. They are, and I forgot to mention on Sunday, they've actually got a journal event. So you join the group, and on Sunday, all of the presenters are presenting, I think, for about 40 minutes or an hour, talking about why they've done it and everything. And once you join the group, that's saved forever, and you can go back and reference to it as you're working with the book. So that's like a really nice tool that helps keep you focused as well. So yes, it's out of sync. In the oh, hi Libby. There's a little it looks like a little settings gear on the thing, on the video on your end of it, and you might be able to actually downgrade me from being high def to about 720, and that might actually stop them being out of sync, because I don't know if my upload is good enough. Hi Casey, Lynette, Libby, Naomi, Nana Mac, Debbie, another Aries. You get it. You'll like the book, Debbie, because I think it'll really help us Aries. Lynette, beautiful idea. Sandra, we've got lots of people on, so that's really fantastic. I think that we'll go into the reading soon. As I said, I normally would do some kind of teaching around the archetypes so that people get to understand what I do, but I just am quite tired, and when I was going, what should I talk about this week, I just went, you know, nothing's really coming forth to teach. If any of you have any questions about archetypes, or like you've been triggered by something this week and you would like me to discuss something, well, then I'm more than welcome to don my teacher hat and do that. If not, we'll just go into the readings. So my Facebook page, I've got this little banner thing coming across now. I'm feeling very fancy with this StreamYard. So my Facebook page is inneralchemist.org. If you search for me, I just dropped the mountain card, which I think is quite appropriate for all of us. So I'm just going to start jumping into readings, and as I said, if anybody at any stage wants to ask any questions about archetypes or anything else like that, we can do that as well. So would love a reading. Now, they do this fancy thing where I can pop it up there and I know where everyone's reading is, so very excited about that feature as well. So Naomi, you would like a reading. We're just going to go for a general guidance and see what's coming forth for you. Hi, Samantha. All right, Naomi, you have got some pretty tough cards that have come forth, and I'm very curious to see whether or not you've been having a very tough time of it. So we have that orphan card, which is the wounded child. It's where you feel abandoned, you feel lonely, you feel like you are the black sheep, nobody understands you. It can literally mean that you have been through a lot of abandonment in your life, and people would just drop away out of your life suddenly. It can be parental stuff. It actually feels like a reoccurring theme, like you've just had this sense of being quite lonely, even in like a busy room. You're on beat to a different drum, and you brought forth that shaman card. Now the shaman card's a full-on archetype. It's going into a wounding. It's actually learning by looking at the darker aspects of society, of yourself, your shadow work. And the shaman's also the bridge. The shaman can literally help people to see their shadows and to go to the other side. It can be a gift that comes forth, which is mediumship, it's clairvoyance, it's where you're literally that bridge and you can give messages. Sometimes it's you don't even know you're really saying something and it's actually really profound for somebody else. I feel like you're still, before that comes through, like there's lots of lessons of you know, that abandonment issue and that feeling lonely. And we've got the comic, and that's where you like smile but really inside you're crying. So I feel like you've had to fake it to people so that they don't know that you're actually feeling this way. And this card's like coming forth to say, you know, sometimes it's okay to have a really good cry, like have a sacred cry, get in the shower and just cry it all out. But you know, all of these cards are really asking you to go deep, but they're reassuring cards, the fact that you're strong enough to go deep. You're strong enough to look at the darker aspects. You're able to help other people that have the wounded child. You're able to help other people that have abandonment issues, because it's so much in your life. It's a reoccurring theme. We heal what we know and we help people with what we know. So let me know if you have any other questions. I feel like that's, you know, there's a lot going on for you, and just know that you're really supported and that you are really loved. Trish Murray, have a great show. Oh, thank you, darling. Claire, greetings and salute. I'm really, really loving this new being able to put the questions up and everything. So let's see what we have got. Just created my life the past couple of days. All right, Cherie, what kind of major shifts have you created in the past couple of days? So I'm just going to scroll down this way so I can see things coming through. Diana, like I actually think crying can be the most powerful release value. You know, it's like a valve, and it can really release. And as long as it's done in a way where it's, you know, you're not perpetuating being in the victim and in the child. It's actually done in a really conscious way. It can be so powerful. All right, Cherie. Major shifts that you have created. What archetypes do you need to support you? Okay, Cherie. You've got two really beautiful cards, Cherie. You have got, sorry, this thing's a bit funky with, you know, knowing where to put my hands. Okay, so the Starborn and the Nectar are really both so much about fulfilling your soul. When you were born, you came out the womb, even if it's by cesarean, when you actually came out of that womb in that microsecond, all the planets were unique to you. The big planets, the asteroids, the comets, everything was uniquely to you. And you have unique gifts, talents, and abilities, and that is ready to come forth and be explored. It's a time of questioning of like, who am I now? Like, what's going on? What it's like a playpen of just immense ideas, like all kinds of things. I don't know. It's like a question of wonderment. It's like you're in a garden and you're a bud that's just come out of the ground, but you don't know what kind of flower you're going to be. Like, it's just such an beautiful. I'm going to explore my uniqueness energy, and this nectar it's soul joy. It's do the things that bring you joy. It's whatever shifts and things that have happened in your life is actually going to make you so much happier and needed to happen. because where you're going next, you're going to wake up and you're just going to have a smile and you'll be like, oh, this is fantastic, you know, and it's a really good signs for you. And it's like it'll lead you into your calling and your purpose, and that's just deep soul joy. So I'm really excited for you. Now, Naomi, thank you so much, beautiful. All that was brought up is so very true. Feeling a little lost at the moment. Oh, that's perfect. So, Cherie, did that resonate for you? Now we've got Dave. Dave is, I'd love a card for study and crew if you can. You're feeling very stressed. Well, Dave, I don't think you're the only one that's feeling stressed. I think that it's just so much in our collective at the moment. So I'm going to actually ask what archetypes will help you with stress specifically. So what can come forth might be what's causing stress and adding to it, or it can be the archetype that needs to be called in that's going to help it. So let's see what we got for you, Dave. Actually, Dave, my heart just started racing, which is a bit odd because I don't feel like it's me. Do you have a little bit of anxiety? And like, do you suffer from anxiety, or it's just the stress is making you a little bit anxious? Wow. I was going to do 2 cards, but that's a bit radical. We're going to go 3rd one, Dave, for some greater clarity. You do with study because you don't want to fail. Yes, I'm feeling like that's incredible pressure. You've got the king and you've got the womb. So you've pretty much got the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So I'm asking a 3rd card. Okay, so the king card is the divine masculine. It's bringing in that really strong energy, and how it'll help you is, I know this sounds funny, but power poses. You know, like stand in your room with your hands on your hips like you're Superman. I know that sounds really silly, but it's actually, there's a lot of scientific documentation on how the power pose can really open up all the energy fields and make you feel really good. The king archetype, when it's the divine masculine, you have, when the king is in its higher aspects, the king is, it's doing things for other people, it's solid, it's grounded, you're the benevolent king, you care about other people. And the toxic masculinity, when the king is in shadow, is the petty king. It's the childish king, can be really arrogant. If you have any friends or any teachers that you feel are like in their shadow king, you really need to spend as little time with them as possible at the moment, because they're really not supporting you. So you need to do your power poses, you need to call in the king, you need to call in your sovereign and be in that really strong energy. Now, you got the complete opposite as well, which is the womb. So the female archetypes trust their intuition, and they really trust, like they'll follow their intuition. And I feel like this is an area that you really, really need to work on. It's like like you're judging the softer aspects, you know, or you might be around people who would judge softer emotions, like they've got like a bit of a that ochre male energy of like, oh, you can't act that way, you're a sissy. But actually this card's saying if you can balance both the masculine and the feminine side, it's going to be really powerful for you at the moment. So do things that make you feel luxurious. Do, you know, if you go for a massage or have a bubble bath or any of the things that are the softer sides, and that can connect you with your intuition, meditation, any of those aspects that are going to really help you feel A, nurtured, and B, connected to spirit and other things. That's going to be really helpful at the moment. And the animal. This is being really comfortable in your own skin. Now, I have no doubt, like I'm tuning into your energy and you've got this. You're stressing over, I think it's more, you're due to graduate in January and it's been so hard, and I've just been shortlisted for a graduate job with my dream job. You can totally do it, hun. You've got this. You've worked so hard and you've just got to step into that knowing. You've been shortlisted for your dream job. They say when you go for an interview and all those things, go into the toilets and do power poses. I was literally, about 2 months ago watching a TED talk on this. So I get this feeling like, you just need to believe in yourself and you need to ask for it. Say to the universe, I've worked so hard. I really, really want this. Come on, guys. And trust your intuition. If something comes up and they're like, oh, what if I should say this or I should do that? Like, really learn to trust yourself. But I get a really positive energy for you. And I feel like your anxiety is more not just the fact that you're getting this dream job and you've worked so hard. It's almost like the end of your studying journey is coming to an ending, and it's a whole new part of your life, and that's an unknown. So there's like a little bit of scared about that, but I just wanted to say you've really got it and you don't need to be stressed. I feel really confident for you, and you need to feel confident. And remember, if you step into that king and you step into your sovereign and you're the good king, you want this, you're going to be good for that company, you're going to be good for the people, you're going to be good for the team. If you hold on to that value and that energy, then they respond to you and they respond to that. If you're afraid or you think there's something wrong or that you're not worthy, they might pick up on that uncertainty, and it's not you. You're actually really solid and you're a very good person. So I believe in you. And I think you need to believe in you too. So let's have a little look. What have we got going? I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Michelle in Borgo. Appreciate anything, especially about love and finances. So when we ask for two very different fields, one's love and one's finances, sometimes an archetype will come forth which is more one, and sometimes it actually can be the archetype that's holding things back or causing issues. So we'll just see what comes forth for you, Michelle. So I think maybe I'm picking up on the finance side of things, or it could be both. Okay, I'm not getting a clear one for either. We have the destroyer that comes in, and this archetype is exactly what it says. It comes in and it is chaos, it's change. It's either representing you're usually in quite dramatic relationships, or you have been in the past, or there's someone potentially that's going to come forth and like you don't need that in your life. You don't need that chaotic, almost narcissistic energy. But then it also might be about fears of abundance. I kind of am going like this, like it's both actually. You've got the sword. The sword is swift, decisive action. It is, I'm going to lock it off. It's when you get a flash of intuition, like, I need to buy this, I need to sell that, I need to do this, it's really, this sword comes through and you just got to do it. It's like a decisive action, make a decision. I feel like that also comes in with your relationships. Like, I'm almost like, do you martyr yourself a little bit? Like, I call it a poly pleaser, Michelle, where sometimes you give away so much of yourself, and then, you almost lose yourself in the process. So this card that's coming through is like the sword of truth. So you don't do that in any kind of future relationships. You have a highly creative card that, and it's the third one. So this is the forest. It's a time when you're highly creative, and you also get a little bit lost in the forest. You get lost in the creative ideas. It can be almost overwhelmed. So this can be like financial opportunities coming towards you, or creative ideas of things you wanted to create finance. It could be a couple of potential partners at a time, or something like that. You're like, oh, you've got all these options. So if you're getting overwhelmed with the options and you're not sure where to go, just concentrate on one tree. Just concentrate on one idea, and just go from one by one. Don't try and do it all at once, and really work with your intuition. If it's a guy in any future, or a girl in any future relationships, I feel like you should just take that moment and step back a little bit, and really go into observation role, so that you actually don't have any of the same characteristics of the past lovers. That destroyer comes in when there really needs to be change. So if you've got poverty consciousness or abundance issues, that card could also be coming in and saying, like, there needs to be really great shifts in your thought patterns, and you need to work on that. But that sword is the key. It's decisive action. It's knowing when to cut. It's the sword of truth. So it comes in and you're just going, know when to act. And I feel like you will know when to act, and it'll feel really strong for you. So I'm going to take a sip, guys. Won't be a second. Okay. So let's see. Let's scroll up. Oh, Dave, that's beautiful. I think that's just absolutely wonderful. Okay. Diana, you'd love some guidance regarding work, please. Will I transition to a different role within the industry, or work towards something new in the future when it's right timing? So I'm going to ask, should you change into the different role within the industry? And I'm going to see what comes forth, and that's how I'm going to word it. So should Diana change to a different role within the same organisation? That's shaky ground. You got fault lines, so that's almost like you're walking out on the ice, and the ice is going to crack, and you don't know what is going to happen. Like, it's really shaky ground. So I'm just going to ask another card. Yes, Michelle, you don't need that. You've been there and you've done that, so you do not go for that same energy, and you need to really make sure that you don't, and it's really important. All right. career. Changing into a different role within the industry would only be possible if you're given the opportunity. So you got the fault line, which is you're on shaky ground. So that could be like you're not sure if you're even going to like it. You've got the unseen and the prayer. So those cards are like if you want it, identify the narcissist, then will the right one come along. Michelle, I think you can call it in. So Diana, those cards, they're indicating that if you really did want to go further in your industry, then you could. You know, you can call it in. You've got that prayer. You've got the unseen. I'm now going to ask whether or not you should work towards something new in the future when the timing is right. So I'm just going to say, like, in the future, should you be working towards something else? And let's see if I could get some clearer cards. You got the Agape, which is the initiation card, Diana. So is it Diana? I think I'm saying that half right and half wrong. So I'm more inclined to say work towards something new for in the future. It's kind of like you're not really that invested. You're a bit bored. It's a bit boring for you with what you're currently doing. It doesn't really feed your soul, but it's not bad. I don't get like a super negative vibe or anything else like that, but you're just kind of a bit complacent. So Agape is an initiation card. So I actually do feel like in the future things will just start to really shift. This is the one where you are really wide open to choices and things coming towards you into your life. It's like you'll start to feel it coming, like change is coming, and that's when you need to really prick your ears up and start being on the lookout, so that you can really it's like you've got to wait for that clarity, wait for a sign. Now the Poet, that's where you're actually, whatever you're doing is going to be both creative and going very inward. So have you been drawn to any of the healing arts, helping people, counseling, or something creative like artwork or helping people with art? I'm getting like it's a seesawing back and forth. But I would say that your future will be changing. I don't think that you should necessarily stay in the current job that you are like super long term, because I don't think it's really fulfilling. It's like you've got a few more things to do and then it's going to come forth, and you'll have that feeling of like change is coming, and that's when you really need to start being open to it. It's almost like you'll get like a spidey sense or a tingling or like tons of signs, or you'll get goosebumps or fluttering in your stomach. Like I get like it's going to be a sensation in your body. So I know that sounds like it's a bit weird to say stay in your boring job, but I'd stay in your job until you get that sensation and that knowing, and that something's about to happen, and then ask the signs and keep your ears pricked and go that way. And then something will change for you, and it'll be more towards a calling for yourself. Okay. Makes sense. I'm currently in the construction industry and I want to position in a better role within you. However, I have a feeling that I may go back to completing my nursing. I actually think that you will. The construction industry, it's like I get a sense that it's not bad and it's okay, but it's like it's not fully fulfilling you. And you know, you might do the nursing and the naturopathy kind of like on the side while you're still doing it, you know, and as you know, studying part-time, or you'll get like this real sensation and this like itchy feet, and you're like, I'm just gonna have to go do this, and you'll throw yourself into it more time and cut back your hours in the construction industry, or a smaller role or something or other that way. So I'll see how, you know, see how that goes. I think you're just going to know, because that's an initiation card, and initiations can't be stopped. You know, nobody can. So I'd embrace it and go with it. But it's a real feeling card, and you'll know as you're starting to go through it. Hi, Florin. Would you like a reading, darling? You miss out every week. Let me pop you up. Okay. So, what card would Florin like? How have you been, darling? What archetype does Florin need? All right, Diana, I think I just stick with it until you get those feelings in your body and in your intuition, and you just know. That's the best way I can word it, is you'll know that you'll act. It's like a gut instinct, it's goosebumps, it's butterflies, it's itchy feet, yet you're like, it's a compulsive kind of energy. Change is coming and it's time. All right, Florin. Hey, Sue. I'll do you next, darling. So, Florin got an initiation card. It says Eros. So this is a powerful card of love and connection. So it's that primal desire to be connected to everything. Like you want to be connected to music, to art, to people, to everything. So it's more than just a lover, and it's more than just loving yourself. It's like that sensual kind of like, I really love being connected to everything. It's a journey of self-love. It's journeys of love in all its different flavors, in all its different ways. It's sipping wine and just going, oh, that's a fantastic wine. It's eating chocolate and you're like, oh, how indulgent. It's sleeping in and you're like, oh, I love sleeping in. Like it's the little things and it's the massive things. So this is I really feel quite huge for you at the moment. You need to indulge your senses, and you have the riddle. So the riddle is actually like you're asking like, what's going on? What's my purpose? Why am I feeling this way? Why do I need to love myself? What is the lessons of love? What is the lessons of life? It can be a specific thing. There's something that you need to riddle out. It can be a real calling to just pursue the mysteries of certain aspects. So it's a very questioning archetype, and I feel like it's personal, like it's within yourself. You're trying to work out, like, why do you do this? Why do you do it this way? Why does this keep happening? And you got the sustainer. So the sustainer is that beautiful energy. Once again, it's nurturing. Like this is a card that's you can enjoy doing your chores. So if you're doing your washing up, you're doing your cleaning, and you can either hate your chores or you can love cleaning. But this is like the sustainer is just comes in, and it's that quiet, humble strength to continue on your journey, to continue seeking, continue your journey and everything that you're doing at the moment. So that's quite a beautiful reading, Florin. I feel like you're going to be doing that journey into sensuality and love of yourself and love of everything, and that connection that's going to be with you for a little while. That's a real initiation. Oh, Lauren, you're really in that initiation period, and I feel like you're going to embrace it and not fight it. So I'm really excited for you, and the luxuries, like the small little ones, the sips of wines, the a hot chocolate, like it's those things that are actually going to give you the strength to do the bigger stuff and ask all those big questions. Okay, so about your husband. Oh, I get a lot of emotion, Sue. Is he not very well? Like my heart's doing a little bit of funny stuff at the moment, Sue. When he's sick, is he palliative, Sue? I get a it's like he's either palliative or he's just almost going into deep depression or cycles of past abuse. Or like there's something, it's quite full on, dolls. And my heart's like, it's both racing and heavy at the same time. We've got that pilgrim, which is, he's on a journey, and it's a very personal journey. And I don't know if it's his journey of his health or it's his overall journey of everything that he's been through. We've got that card of the ring, which means he's literally the ring. He's your husband, but the ring is all about cycles. It's a repetitive cycles. So it's almost, I feel like it's family stuff, like whatever health-wise, it might be either genetic or maybe it's eating too much or excess, like whatever he's done has actually, he's just following the patterns of his family, if that makes sense. And then we've got that shadow card, which means he has to face that within him. So like I feel like that's actually really, it's really personal. And if he's going to work through, it to the other side, then he needs to face the aspects of himself which might be like the underlying causes. So like if he's got bad habits, he needs to face them. If he's got any addictions, he needs to face them. If he's got any bitterness, then he needs to flip that into a higher frequency. He needs to do the things that are going to nurture and be really good for him. And I almost feel like he can also it's almost like he's hiding the truth of his feelings from you and from everybody. And he would really benefit from having a talk to somebody who's not a family member. It's like does he have depression, or is he hiding his fears from people? I just get a feeling like he really needs to talk out his concerns, but he's not going to want to burden you with them or anyone in the family. It's not that he's so much ashamed. I just think it's a product of like what he was taught as what a male should and shouldn't do in our society. Australia's really bad for that, or the world's very bad for that. Is there church or somebody rather that is not a family member that he could spend some time with, because these are some, putting a brave face on. I would even just see some people, they'll have a little bit of anxiety and depression and they don't know how to verbalize it as what they're feeling because they're in a bit of an emotional or spiritual crisis. And they'll be like, oh, I'm fine. But then actually 12 months later when they look through, they were actually completely stressed and full of anxiety and all those things. But as you're in there soldiering and doing it, you don't kind of label it as that. But I feel like my heart was like racing but heavy. So, I mean, that I don't very often have anything happen to me in the physical during readings, and with that other gentleman from Tasmania, I picked up on his a bit of anxiety. So I think he would really benefit from, you know, going to the men's shed or a men's group, a church, somewhere where he can be with other men or somebody rather that he can just chat with, and it's out of, he's not going to feel like he's burdening you with it, because I do feel like he's actually holding back his fears or he's holding back something so that he doesn't worry you. I hope that helps. I feel quite like it's just sad, you know, it's the only way I can really put it. So I really hope that he gets better, and I'm going to add him to my prayers tonight. If you don't want to put his name up, you can always message me, and I'm happy to say prayers for him for a few weeks if you would like me to. Okay. Now, there was someone else that Kiara Shalu. Did I say that in any way correct? Now, did you have, you've got a please, can you help me? But do you have a question? Here we go. How it feels. Does A stand for a person? Do we have a deep connection? So does this person have a deep connection to Kiara? Okay, so you've got the seed. The seed is potential. It's creative, which is a good sign. We've got the womb, which is you and your divine feminine. It's trusting your creativity and making sure that he also honors you as a woman. Okay, and what else have I got for you? Okay, so I actually feel like you've got the seed. This card shows great potential. It's creative, and it's the seed. It's the start of something that could grow into something beautiful. But then there's two cards, and it's actually about you, not about him. You've got the womb, which represents you and honouring yourself as the woman and not giving away all of yourself or martyring it, self-love and really knowing who you are. And then you have got the shapeshifter. And this is a warning for you not to shapeshift into what you think he wants you to be. And it's a warning to make sure that he's not doing the same thing. So it's all about really, really honest communication between the pair of you. And I don't want you to just act like how you think he wants you to so that you can have that connection. It's actually saying that, no, you need to just be really, really honest. What do you want in the relationship? What does he want in the relationship? As you're going along, if something confuses you and you don't actually know whether or not he was trying to say something offensive or he was trying to do something, just go, what did you mean by that? And it's like really asking you to go into a very truthful, mature way of having the relationship. Because there is that potential there, but it has to be based on truth. It's almost like he doesn't want drama, and I don't think you do either. And you're both kind of afraid that each of them it's going to be too much. So the only way through it is to be really truthful for each other. And I feel like he needs that, and so do you, so that you both know where you stand, because it's kind of like so confused and mixed signals at the moment. Like, should I, shouldn't I, you know, does he mean this, does she mean that? So the only way through is to actually be really blunt, and he'll honor you for that because of that wound card. Like he'll embrace that, and you need to embrace that as well. So just ask lots of questions, you know, be really mindful that truthful communication, you know, it helps us from falling into a lot of drama traps when all we need to do is ask the question. If you let something fester, like, what do they mean by that? It's like a little thorn underneath the skin, and you get offended and you make up all these stories in your head. And if you just asked and go, well, what do you mean by that? You actually don't let the thorn fester. You get straight to the point. So that's the kind of energy that you need to be in, which is just pure truth. It might be a little bit uncomfortable at times because I feel like you haven't had that level of truth, and just being blunt, it's needed in this instance. Now, what else have we got? We have got Arlene Johnson. Can I have a general reading? Yes, you can. So, Arlene. Oh, we've got that sword. Arlene, they're asking for decisive action. They're asking for you to be able to make decisions. So I'm going to ask, what do you need to make decisions about? Oh, the king. So the king can be men in general, or it can be a specific man. And it's the unseen, it's trusting your intuition. The sword, being able to take that decisive action when you need it, cut straight to the chase. It's cutting to the truth. It's when your intuition, and you have that, it's the unseen. It's when the unseen, that intuition's coming up and it's saying, all right, you need to do this, you need to change that job, you need to, this person's lying to you, call them out on it. It's all of those things. It's being able to be really decisive in that moment. You've got that king card, which really represents either a male in your life, or you need to call him more of a masculine energy. It's like you might be being indecisive about things in general, and you need to bring forth that divine masculine so that you actually stop procrastinating and you take action. So I feel, because of that unseen trust, and I actually think it might be that where you need to bring more of a masculine energy in, and be just more decisive in all areas of your life, so that you have that, you know, take action, get that sword swinging, change your life while you need to. And that unseen is like really trust your intuition, call your intuition in. I'm not getting any sense of exactly what it is. So you either may know, or you might need to do a little bit more exploration about what areas that needs to come up in. So, Abigail. Hi, lovely. Anything for me if drawn to? Abigail, let's see what we've got for you. The Hunter. Abigail, there's something you're wanting to pursue. There is something that's a driving energy in you. You're in the pursuit of something. What are you in the pursuit of? You got the Shaman. The Shaman is very spiritual. It is being able to look in the darker aspects of life. It's esoterical work. It's being the bridge between one thing and the other. Abigail, is any of this resonating? What is the next one? Okay, you've got the box. You can't be confined. You have the Black Stallion, and you are literally in pursuit of the light. It's like a deeply spiritual journey. You're pursuing your spiritual self. It's, you know, self-exploration. It is going into your psyche so that you can create change. You don't want to do cycles anymore. You don't want to have any of those things. Instead, you want to really break through all those boxes, and you want to have that change. You want purpose in your life. And I feel like that Shaman card, you know, it's coming through, and it feels quite spiritual. I wouldn't be surprised if you also were in initiation or about to go into initiation. So the Shaman is a card which is an archetype, and it's where you're not afraid to go deep into your psyche and have a look at the darker aspects of yourself and bring it forth for healing. Sometimes it can be working your way through a wound. So it's a bad relationship, a hard childhood, it is some kind of suffering. And through the suffering, you actually have the healing, and then you go forth and you're able to help and teach people about it. It's also, a shaman is also about being able to look at the people around you and society in general and see the darker aspects without kind of falling into it. It's just like you're aware of the motives in people, and you can see into the truths of why they're doing things. Now, this box, let me just shut that window. Sorry about that, guys. The dogs every now and then go a little bit nutty. So this box is like, you won't be confined by society, your family, by anything. It's going to make me look seasick if I have those in the background. So you won't be confined by society, and you also won't be put in a box. You're going to break through boxes. See how they're like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little boxes? It's like that's how you grow. You'll have a spurt where you break through a box of realization, and then you just rip yourself through layer upon layer of stuff. So it's really just working on some deep layers of yourself. It's quite potent. You're doing a lot of spiritual work, and yes, all of this. I really feel like that. I feel like you'll go forth and you'll help people even more than what you are doing now in the future. There's a bit more digging to do in your soul, and things that, you know, you're on the right path and you just can't be confined. You're just going to keep on going. So I have got probably, I can probably quickly squeeze one more in. We're going to go Teresa. Did you have a question, Therese? Ah, there you are. And would I love a reading? So I'm going to very quickly squeeze you in. I've had a lot of clients from New Zealand in the last, I've had 2 this week, but about 5 in the last month. And I really feel like New Zealand is being called up to service. There's a lot going on there, Therese. Okay. Are you still with us, Therese? Your first card is the healer, which I think you're in the midst of healing, but you are also a healer yourself. You have the sword. The sword is telling you to have that decisive action. I'm actually thinking that that sword might be a little bit for all of us because it's come up in so many readings, and it came up in readings for my clients this morning as well. So it's like a universal calling. I feel like it's just in the collective quite strong at the moment. So you've got that healer, you know, you've got the sword, needing to take action, stop procrastinating, stop holding back from doing the things that you need to do. And you've got the animal, which is knowing who you are and being really comfortable in your skin and loving yourself for who you are. So it's, for me, it's twofold. It's a journey of healing for yourself. It's needing to take that decisive action so you stop procrastinating, and then it's that animal, which is really loving who you are and that journey of self-love. And then on the other flip side of it is you'll heal people, you'll help people, and everything that you've done on your journey to self-love and being comfortable in your own skin and your connection to yourself and the connection to the land, you're going to help people. So everything that you've learned, you're going to be able to go forth and bring it into your life so that you can be of service. Sharon, I really wish that I could give you a card, but I've actually run overtime. Oh, I just hit Abigail. So that last one. So next week, Sharon, I'll be on 7:30 Queensland or 8:30 New South Wales time. It's been so wonderful to spend time with all of you, and it's just been a really wonderful night. I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend coming up. Remember that I do the $50 1-hour sessions. I'm keeping it really reasonable during everything that's going on because I just think that's the right thing to do. So you get 15 cards, and during that 1-hour reading, and it's 3 present, 3 past, and 9 for your futures. And I actually read them vertically down for past and present, and then I start reading sideways for the future one. So it's a little bit of an odd one, but that's how I do the readings, and it all works out like a puzzle. So it's been lovely helping you all. Sorry, Michelle, I've run out of time tonight, but I'll be back on next Friday, 7:30 Queensland, 8:30 New South Wales. You have amazing nights, all of you, amazing weekends. Go forth and change the world. Much love to you all.